Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Go Mode Podcast Mentor Tournament restream. Today we have a very exciting match, even though they're all exciting. But this one is going to be between Bragi and SquishyPanda. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Their mentors are Shinmaru and Tenet, I believe. If I mispronounced that, I am so sorry. And then today in the volunteer team, we got Haiku Haiku tracking, Mr. Angry Pants restreaming, and Cup Noodle and myself commentating. How are you today?
I'm doing great, and it looks like the match has already taken off, and we have Bragi going with the escape start, grabbing the hook shot from Link's house. Kind of interesting opening play there.
Definitely a nice early find. Got that tree pull right away. Yeah, I love to see a divergence in routing right away. It just shows like I love seeing that difference because in randomizer it's really cool to see the differences in routes. So I definitely respect. Oh my gosh. And speaking of differences in routes, it's like escapes loaded.
We'll see. Ether is something that it's something you may eventually need, but
Yeah,
in
that's
escape
true.
itself, we're not quite sure yet. But it looks like he's just going to do the uncle. With open assured, it's a little more tempting to do all of escape. But when you're just doing open, Bragi doesn't really have a weapon besides the hook shot, so going all the way into escape isn't really a great idea because you kind of run into the issue where you might need to you need to rely on getting bombs or something else to kill those guards, and without that, it's gonna kind of lock him out there.
Yeah. I did miss however, did we see Lumberjack? Oh, I think we just yeah, did we end
Yeah,
up
Squishy
seeing
Panda ran up there.
was it anything important?
I don't believe so, but we're gonna get another look here from Bragi.
Yeah. And that's 100 rupees. Yeah, no, it's just a 20. 100 rupees on the mushroom check. That's real that's our bottle vendor money right there. It's not too shabby. Huh, yeah. I don't think there's anything in Blind's hideout, or I think that's what it's called. I may in the woods there. The tree stump, I guess.
Oh yeah. I thought you were mentioning Blind's tent. I was like, well, he's just going in right now.
Yeah.
You got a
Yeah.
piece of heart, and there's
Oh,
our swords. So,
early.
yep, very early swords. So, having played Open Assured for the last couple weeks, these players will be used to an early sword. So this is a nice little intro to intro to the open play style.
Yep.
Bragi quitting out, potentially having some tech issues or having trouble deciding where to go. They quit from the forest and looks like they're going down and around.
Interesting. Me being newer to A Link to the Past, is this common?
I think it might have been a. Oh, I think they were looking for bombs. Did they pick up a shovel at some point? No.
Um, on the other end though,
Oh, yeah, they're picking up bombs. So with 100 rupees, so this kind of an interesting play here. Um,
on
so
yeah,
this is so Squishy Panda had no bombs going into this, so won't be able to afford bombs and the bottle vendor. However,
okay.
Bragi looks like he's going to be coming up from the bottom in Kakariko. And despite having to save and quit and walk back, doesn't look like they're that too far behind right now. Squishy
Yep.
Panda's already done Blind's hut. I'm gonna be honest, I've never seen that play before, but it doesn't seem to look too terrible.
Yeah, I think it makes sense in this case because yeah, no bombs. Might as well just get the bombs. That being said, both what? Did you see
Two
that?
boomerangs.
Back to back. As well as I don't think we mentioned it, but Mirror was on the bottle vendor.
Yeah, so
Um,
that'll actually be great for Drew Bragi. It
yep.
looks like they were about to go purchase some bombs, but then remembered that they just farmed them up, and that's going to be a great decision because, like you said, Bottle Vendor does have the mirror. So if Drew Bragi would have spent the money on those bombs, they would not been able to have afforded the mirror. Had to
Yeah,
come back later and get it.
exactly. And yeah, now it looks like Squishy Panda's just gonna do the typical head south, check library, check dig game, probably head south Hyrule, I'd assume, maybe.
It's possible the sword was picked up, so they've got a couple options. They could do what Drew Bragi did and head up north, uh, or they could like north into escape. Or south is also the likely play. You've got the well, you've got not the well, you've got the dam, you've got Mini Moldorm. So my personal opening, I like to get those out of the way early, but some people like to go into escape, especially once you get the sword. It's a lot more tempting early game.
Yeah, I could probably loop in Southfield and then save quit and do escape myself. Just because Mini Moldorm, like, that's what, 5 checks? And then if you want, you could head over to Ice Rod Cave, get another check there if you so please. It is a little bit of a time sink to walk over there, but sometimes you do what you gotta do.
Yep,
Oh,
and then
I've
Drew
never,
Bragi gonna get their sword as well.
I didn't know you could hook shot trick there
Yep, anytime
on
you're
Squish.
pushing the block, you can grab the it's something grabbable behind it, and with that chest, even though you're sharing a space with the ooh,
Oh,
and there's a flipper here in the dam as well, so that's a great find for Squishy Panda. That makes these south checks so much better because you can also loop in your swim checks as well. Without the
yeah,
money, it's a little less tempting because you're not going to be able to go to Zora, but you will be able to get those waterfall checks, and you can just hop down from Ice Rod Cave if you want to get the Ice Rod, or not the Ice Rod, but whatever's in the Ice Rod Cave as well.
yeah, exactly. Oh, hook shot making mini Moldorms so free. That
Yeah, they're a
was
lot less
very,
likely to
that,
bother you.
yeah, that was, ooh, blue cane. Mitts. Wow. And
You
the
like to see an
mushroom.
early mitts.
That that mini Voltorb kind of loaded, not gonna lie. That being said, yeah, looks like we're heading to Ice Rod Cave, I'd assume.
Yep,
And
Squishy Panda gonna head up that direction. We'll see what Drew Broggy would like to do
yeah,
as well.
it looks like Drew is doing more so the same. See, yep, heading right. Curious to see if Drew continues to head right as Squishy does, or if they head up to Ice Rod Cave as well.
Yeah,
But
usually players have a preference on what they would like to do when they're coming south. Some people like to go and get Agina's Cave. Some people like to go do Ice Rod Cave. Some people like to just leave and get those when they're kind of in the area doing something else. Like
yeah,
getting Agina's Cave when you're going to desert, or getting Ice Rod Cave after you get the flute or the flippers, which they already do have. So Ice Rod Cave is a pretty decent option.
and Squishy doing Back of Escape, I'd assume.
Yep, good choice. Just
Yep,
recently picked up their gloves, so Back of Escape's gonna be a couple quick checks.
yep. But at the same time, wonder if they're gonna do after shield key. Okay.
So because we see the key there, I don't believe any of the players have gone into the front of Escape. But because the key is there, it looks like they're going to have to hope for the map, or they're going to have to do Dark Cross in the dark.
Yeah.
Dark Cross in
Oh,
the dark is out of logic unless you have the fire rod. Once you get the fire rod, it does become in logic because the game will assume that you know where the torches are and can light them with the fire rod.
where? Um. Wait. What was that?
So this is the Houlihan room. There's a couple different ways to get to it. Squishy Panda was doing it with a bomb outside of the back of escape. And basically what you do is you can use that to get access to a room. It's got 200, is it 280, I think? Something, 200 something rupees. But it's a way for Squishy Panda to get some of that Zora money early on.
Yeah. Island's dead. And oh, we're going to check Hobo.
Yeah, so knowing a couple ways to get into the Houlihan room can be very helpful in a seed like this where you get that early access to flippers. And then you're able to get that Zora where if the other player doesn't necessarily know that trick, you might be able to get a leg up on them if there's something important on Zora.
I've never seen that. And yeah, Hobo unfortunately just 10 save quit from Druu. Where's Druu? Front of escape maybe? Looks
We
thinking
will
about it for a
see.
second. Thinking about it.
Yep, probably talking to their mentor about what to do next.
Back of escape first.
Yep, back of escape, another good choice.
Let's see. Where yeah. And yeah, looks like Squishy's heading to do their swim checks. Unfortunately, still not at that 500 we need. Or wait, Zora's 500 or 300?
Yep,
Lamp,
500. There's a lamp,
and
and
there's 300.
Squishy
Not
Panda
punished.
not going to be punished by this. Very great Houlihan, getting a very lucky 300 rupees in the waterfall, and that's going to let them get both of these checks up here.
Never punished, right?
A great payoff, the literal payoff.
Yeah. Nothing on the Zora ledge. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. That that lamp is a big find as well.
Yeah, getting the early lamp, and I'm pretty sure Druu Bragi is going to be a little discouraged to head up that way until they get some more rupees. So if that lamp unlocks anything early on, that's going to be a huge advantage for Squishy Panda. It will
Ooh.
unlock Death Mountain, but it looks like Druu Bragi is just fine doing Death Mountain in the dark. This is
Yep.
another thing that can help you um, if you know some of the dark rooms, it lets you break logic. So we know as viewers that Death Mountain actually is in logic right now because we know where the lamp is. But Druu Bragi does not know that the lamp is in logic. So
Yes.
according to them, as far as they know, they're breaking logic going up here. But with the mirror, this is likely where the game wants you to go. It's going to open up Tower of Hera,
And that
and
was
with the map,
clean.
it'll open up the entire thing as well.
That was pretty. Oh. Yeah, that was pretty clean. Yeah, that was a really clean Death Mountain. And now we're gonna see it in the light.
Yeah, so if you weren't sure what was going on, you can look over at Squishy Panda's screen.
Yep. And honestly, we have mirror. We have seen a map check, and Tower of Hera is indeed a crystal. Eastern's a crystal. Desert is the green pendant, and Tower of Hera is another crystal. So we're probably gonna do Tower of Hera.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little unfortunate for Druu Bragi because they don't have the lamp. If the basement is required, it's gonna lock them out of that
Ooh,
dungeon.
I didn't
It
even
looks like
think
Druu
of
Bragi
that.
doing a Dark World map check, getting a red crystal at Turtle Rock, a red crystal at Misery Mire, with pendants on Palace of Darkness and Swamp Palace.
Okay, not terrible.
And a great tip brought up from Silver in chat: if you have not, if you save and quit with the old man following you, you will always start in the old man cave, so you can reset your position.
Okay.
So if you get lost, you can always reset there.
All right. Let's hope that the basement's nothing.
Now, if Druu Bragi knows Harapot and it is locked, which we see a small key, so it's a little concerning, but there's still another chest they can check. Harapot will allow them to complete this dungeon without having to do the basement. And there's the Moon Pearl. There, it is locked, but it
big.
looks like they're not discouraged. They're going to wait for that heart to fall so they can set up the Harapot. They're going to wait. Oh, that might have messed up.
Let's see.
Yeah, they're gonna have to back out.
Okay, so
one of the caveats with Harapot is it uses a certain variable in memory that's affected by certain things like fairies or the height of certain items that are falling down. So if there's a heart on screen or a fairy on screen, you pick it up before it finishes. It will not let you do this correctly.
Both of them getting first try Harapots.
Yeah, it looks great from both players.
Very clean, very clean. There is a compass.
There's 2 items in desert. One of them was already found, the Moon Pearl, which is gonna let actually, they don't have Dark World access yet.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Once they get there.
We are either hammer or gold mitts from Dark World access, or Master Sword, I guess now.
we don't speak that person into existence.
Oh, I do though. Oh,
unfortunate fall from Druu Bragi.
And
Moldorm is honestly, this might be a hot take on my part, but I think Moldorm is honestly one of the harder bosses with Fighter Sword.
Yeah, I can see that. You have to like just trying, especially near the end of the fight, because with Fighter Sword you're always pretty much guaranteed to like get that really quick movement like at the end, whereas with the other swords, like as long as you're getting your spins, like you should be able to kill it fast enough before it hits that fast phase.
Yeah. And it's not something players practice a lot, because like how often do you come to Tower of Hair with a Fighter Sword? Usually you've got the hammer or something, and it looks like Druu Bragi gonna take out Moldorm just fine the second try.
Nice, that is beautiful.
And rewarded with the second heart. So that's the second of the 2 items, which means that big chest and the basement are going to be not required.
Again, never punished.
Great choice not to get that big chest. Waiting until killing the boss.
Yep, and then yeah, also a pretty good second fight from Squishy as well. Like both of them
finishing up just behind, yeah.
Both of them fell. Moldorm is kind of inevitable, like, well, it is inevitable, but it's something that's gonna happen every now and again, like, but yeah, now we are going right side.
Both players on the same screen, so we've more or less synced up. However, Druu Bragi still does not have the lamp. Not going to affect them for the right side of Death Mountain, though, so they're doing just fine without it for now.
Oh yeah. Honestly, yeah, they're holding hands right now. They are very much just doing the same tracks at the same time, seeing where it
neck
gets
and
them.
neck.
Let's see, 25. What's gonna be upstairs? Let's find out.
Well, 3 Moldorms at the very least.
Don't we just love Moldorms? Because I do not.
Looks like both players will be opening these chests at pretty much the exact same time.
Oh!
Both players gonna get their Dark World access as well. This is a pretty good Death Mountain here. Got their Moon Pearl, they got their hammer.
Alright. That's beautiful.
They're both setting up the bomb jump at exactly the same time. Look at this. Neck and neck right now.
That was beautiful. That's something I need to learn to do.
Yeah, bomb jumps can be very useful in certain parts of the game. Death Mountain is a big one. It lets you save time having to come all the way back up. We're also going to get a floating island check. We see we see 5 rupees. We see two
Yep.
5 rupees, since we have both players checking it now.
All right. What next? What's the next item we're gonna get? Because everyone knows Death Mountain is always loaded.
I think at this point, either player would love to see the gold mitts because it would let them knock out the right side of Death Mountain as well. But it looks like they're going to have to settle with a shovel.
I'll take it.
Yeah, not a bad time to get the shovel. Because they both just got their Dark World access, it's going to let them loop that in because they have the mirror as well. They'll be able to loop that in with their South Dark World checks.
Yeah.
SquishyPanda gonna do the whole circuit though. I think they're gonna start from Hype Cave and do a loop all the way around the Dark World, getting all of their checks on the way, or potentially breaking off and doing Pod. That's an option, but most likely we'll see them head up to Village of Outcasts and try to knock out Thieves Town.
Yep.
Their map check out of the way.
Yep. Looks like Drew's doing the same thing. Squishy realizing that Pod is a pendant. Unfortunate.
Yeah, it makes the decision a little harder, but just because they got fresh Dark World access, the pull is pretty strong towards Thieves Town right now.
Yeah, exactly. Thieves Town's just, in my experience, my small experience, Thieves Town early.
Oh, the actual hype cave.
Yep.
That's gonna be Druu Bragi's Zora money. So Druu Bragi also has another option now with the mushroom and the Zora money. Instead of going up to Village of Outcasts, they have another option. We'll see if they decide to take it or not. They could go check the witch catfish and loop their Zora checks in with that as well.
Yep.
It would make the north side of Dark World a little more tedious to get, so it's going to be a choice on their part which one they're going to go with. And I think after they check the pyramid, we're going to see what that decision is.
Yeah. But yeah, we went from open assured to now we're just playing cash boots.
Yep, pretty much. You love getting boots early. It's going to speed that up a lot. We've got a bottle here as well. They can fill that up when they get to the waterfall.
Yep. Yeah, something we were not able to see on Squishy's side, so that'll be new information.
Squishy going down around the south. Gonna knock these checks out before heading up to Village of Outcasts.
Yep.
Oh, Druu Bragi, looks like they're gonna loop Escape in, is my guess.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that.
This is an interesting time to do it. I like it because they'll be able to mirror out when they're done, and then they've got that portal to the Dark World here, so this will be pretty quick. And we also just saw Squishy get their Master Sword from the stump as well. So
yeah, I was just about to mention that. That is a huge find. Yeah, nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with finding Master Sword. So what we don't want to see is the burrito. Am I correct?
Yes. If the map is found down here, that means there's an item in Dark Cross. So Druu, from what I've seen, may be comfortable doing Dark Cross. For a lot of people, it's one of the earlier dark rooms that you learn.
Ooh, Red
Kiss
King.
Maria on the dig game. So Dark World looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, buddy. And Ice Rod, we need that.
No Ice Rod hunts today, it looks like.
Yeah, but we can always have a Fire Rod hunt. Come on.
I don't remember seeing something in the library. Okay, it looks like they're taking the boots. Where are they going right now? They're going to go straight to the pegs up in Kakariko. Looks like they're going to swap over to Village of Outcasts. Get those checks knocked out as well. Guard being a little tricky today, but
It happens.
with the hammer,
Oh, no!
looks like we do have an item in Dark Cross. Druu, Bragi gonna grab the hearts, mirror out to the entrance, and we're gonna see if they decide to just get that item real quick, which I think they will. They've got the boots, so this will be a pretty quick check, just to grab it real quick before they head out. And with the mirror, once they get the item, they're gonna be able to mirror out, go right back to their portal, and continue with their Dark World checks.
Yep. Alright, let's see this.
Yeah, pulling out the sword to make it easy to tell where you are. So you're gonna be able to use that to navigate the dark room. Some snakes in the way, but it's not gonna be a problem.
Another full heart right before heading into Thieves Town.
The snakes are guarding the door right now.
Yeah, that's
There we
always
go.
annoying.
And we're in the Dark Cross room. It's gonna go to the side. I'm gonna keep your eyes peeled because it's gonna pop up real quick. Oh, did they get lost? Looks like they got lost in Dark Cross, and they're just gonna head out. It looks like.
Fair enough.
Unless I missed the item.
I didn't see it. I don't really know what I'm looking for though.
Oh, it'll be the only thing you see when they get it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we saw it then.
Squishy Panda hovering their way out of the sea house.
And I think Druu is probably gonna head in, do catfish, and then get their lamp and other
Either
things.
catfish or north side. It looks like, yeah, catfish is going to be the play. Oh, maybe north side. Yep, they're going to do north side.
Okay.
So when you're doing catfish, it is a little bit of a commitment because it's going to Zora. You're basically kind of at a save and quit location.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, and then we got Squishy in Thieves Town just doing the checks.
So both
Burrito.
players are going to be ending up at Village of Outcasts, but each player taking a different direction. Druu, Bragi finding the Titan's Mitts, which is very, very good. King's Tomb is a check that a lot of people kind of neglect. Maybe not this seed so much because you do have that mirror early on, so it'll be kind of on the way if Squishy Panda wants to grab that after Thieves Town. But if they leave it for too long, that's going to be some checks that Druu, Bragi is able to get, while Squishy Panda might be waiting a little longer. It's going to give access to the right side of Death Mountain. It's going to give access to, once they find a fire source, it'll be access to Ice Palace as well.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And with the flute, it'll give them access to Misery Mire if they can find that soon as well.
Yep. And yeah, pretty standard Thieves Town. I don't think we've gone anything crazy here yet.
Oh, actually, we might see Druu, Bragi gonna head over. They were grabbing their 2 checks. This is actually a really good spot to switch over to Catfish. Getting back to Kakariko isn't that bad.
Probably turning in the mushroom as well.
Yep, I'm gonna turn in the mushroom. They mirrored quite a ways back. Looks like they're just gonna turn it in, go back to the Dark World, then probably mirror back in front of the Witch's Hut.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe not. They're just gonna go grab the item real quick.
Oh, more health is always kind. I don't think we're seeing anything in Thieves Town right now.
Yeah, Thieves Town, in my experience, is usually a really, really good dungeon, even as a pendant. Luckily, in this run, it's a crystal, but it's something I'll usually go into. I like to grab the front, see what's in there, and then make my decision afterwards.
Yeah, no, I think that's how I've played in the past, like, A couple seeds I've played as well. I kind of I'll go in, and then me being a new player, I will definitely, if I am not feeling confident, I will not go and fight blind right away either. But
Yeah, he is, as a new player, he is kind of a nuisance.
but that being said, looks like Squishy just got blue mail, so
Yep.
blind should be no problem.
Yeah, a lot of
Uh,
hearts, blue mail. They've got the cane as well, so
Ooh,
we've got a
another
B from
bottle.
Catfish. So good empty bottle find from Catfish.
Yeah, the Squishy getting the blue cane out. This is a strat I love to do myself.
Looks like they're
Because
starting the blind script, but yeah, the blue cane's gonna make it pretty free.
yep, got 2 of the heads without it, which is perfect. Because no half magic means you have to be a little tiny bit careful with your magic consumption, but no problem here. Um, as those first 2 heads were actually very clean.
I missed if Bragi threw the bottle into the fairy. I was watching blind. Did we see
Yeah,
what the fairy prize was?
I also missed it. I was also watching blind. um,
And
but yeah,
Bragi buying some very expensive bombs.
eh, it's the Zora markup. Gold Woods, though. At least the front of it. We cannot do the back because we do not have Fire Rod. Bonk Rocks.
Yep, good time to check Bonk Rocks.
I assume Drew's not going to be far behind and will be checking Thieves Town fairly soon, if I had to make an educated guess.
I think that would be a pretty good guess.
That being said, you never know.
Yeah, the question is more, I think, will they do Skullwoods before or after Thieves Town? Bragi already got the north side of Dark World. So Skullwoods is... It's going to be a little out of the way if you do Thieves Town first, but it's never really long to get there. You can
No.
always just... You can always just go through the Dark World portal and you're pretty much right on top of Skullwoods, so it's never really out of the way to go.
Yeah, no, exactly. And yeah, it looks like Thieves Town will be the play here. Heading down to Village of Outcasts. Opening up the dungeon. Yeah, I don't know if they're possibly just hunting Village of Outcasts before going into Thieves Town for a Fire Rod, or if they're gonna go into Thieves Town. I think if you're down here, you might as well just go into the dungeon.
Yeah, a lot of people like to grab the items out of here first. Looks like they are going to turn their bottles in. Good play from Bragi.
Yep.
I don't think Squishy Panda did this. We'll see if this pays off.
Well, Squishy Panda doesn't have a bottle.
Oh, that's true. You're right.
I don't think it was anything, though.
It was a magic powder, so that will open up the powder bat.
Okay. Not too shabby. Powder bat, and now we could magic the anti-fairies for fairies.
Yep, I do personally like to get the magic early on because it does make a lot of these things safer. Like going into Thieves Town, Bragi's pretty fine right now with 11 hearts, but if you're going into Thieves Town, you've only got like 5 or 6 hearts. Having magic powder can be very comfortable in here.
Yep, and Squishy getting
Panda's gonna
there.
find the mitts, it looks like.
Yep, that's not too shabby. And gonna route in Catfish, looks like.
At the very least, they're going to be getting the mushroom. When you're going to turn in the mushroom from the Dark World side, Catfish is kind of just a a logical next step because it's the only time in the game you're really going to have easy access to him. If you don't
Yeah,
check Catfish now, it's basically a last locate.
fair enough. Where's the ice rod again? Escape?
Ice Rod
Escape.
was
Escape, yeah.
Escape. Yeah, it was in the back of it, or in the front of Escape.
Uh, Getting the key. Yeah, now we're just seeing kind of a little bit of overlap from their variants and routes. So yeah, just kind of wait and see where Seed takes them after this. I guess Eastern is a play, but you don't have bow, so you can't beat it.
Yeah, the nice thing though about that play is if you go there from the Dark World, you can knock out some of your checks in the Dark World side of Pod and mirror out into the Light World to knock out Eastern as well. So that is an option for the players.
Yeah, pretty dense.
But yeah, we're starting, like you said, we're starting to run out of available dungeons for them to beat.
Oh, I didn't even notice that we got the cape out of Thieves Town. Wow.
So I don't know if any of the players checked the bumper ledge, but that is open to them now.
Yep.
I think Squishy
Squish.
Panda did when they went to the north side of Dark World. I just didn't catch what was in there.
Yep.
Oh, bumper ledge was nothing, it looks like. Okay.
I guess we also have Dark Cross, but that's kind of an orphan.
It's a little bit of an orphan at this point. There's a lot of other checks you can do. Dark Cross is kind of not a huge time sink, but
yeah,
they're going to be tempted to go elsewhere before heading to Dark Cross.
Squishy is right here, though. Gonna mirror.
Speaking of which, Squishy has not done the front of Escape, so Dark Cross is a lot less of a bad deal for Squishy. So if Dark Cross has something, that's going to be a huge play, because Druu Bragi is not likely to go back there for a very long time.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely. And yeah, plus Squishy didn't check Uncle or anything, so I think Escape was a pretty good play on their part.
Yeah, not having done any of these checks, they're going to find Ether, which we don't know if is required yet, but you always like to have it.
Yep.
Just to have a little bit more peace of mind. You go from 0% chance of getting into Turtle Rock to 1 in 3. Druu Bragi saying, "What blind script? I don't need it. I'm just going to show off my bullet hell skills. Only getting hit once during the fight."
Yeah, that was impressive. Dang.
Getting a little more money there.
Yep.
And Druu Bragi is about to most likely head south to get these checks and will find their Master Sword in the Grove. So that'll be a very welcome find. Or they may be going up. Looks like they're going to do Skullwoods first before they head down.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Oh, no, they're going up here this way.
There's the ice rod for Squishy.
So yeah, we've seen both of these players go to a lot of the same places, but in different orders. So it's hard to say who's in the lead right now. I think just checks-wise, I think Squishy Panda might have a little bit more completed, but not much. And it's all really going to depend on what we find in Dark Cross here. If it's nothing, then I think players are still neck and neck. If there is something important in Dark Cross, that's going to be very, very big for Squishy Panda, and we're going to find that out in just a minute.
Yep. Yeah, I'm curious. As we were just talking about, we're running low on places our progression could be. I think at this point, our biggest plays are Eastern and Pod.
Yeah, and it's not something you like to do without the
No.
bow.
Yeah, exactly.
And we've got a
Okay.
full heart and dark cross. So yes, the race is still on. Both players pretty much evenly matched on checks right now. Squishy Panda. Oh, we did forget about one very important place. We've got the Dark World Death Mountain. Getting the gold mitts is going to give them access to that.
That's a decent amount of checks. And we could check Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and they have the hook shots. They'll be able to do hook shot cave. So that's going to be 7 there. It would be 8, but we know that the floating island is a dud.
Oh yeah. Uh, Druu is going.
Druu
Oh,
gonna go
south.
pick up their gonna go pick up their Cane of Samaria and Master Sword.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I don't think they'll be upset with this Southside Dark World.
Not at all. Nothing there. Half magic.
Half Magic is a great find.
I will accept that with open arms. Druu getting the cane. Squishy heading into Hookshot Cave.
Yep, going into Hookshot Cave. We're going to probably see them skip the floating island.
Yep.
And we've got another little divergence. Bragi going to turn in the blacksmith. And the
there's
bow
the
in
bow.
Hookshot Cave. Great,
Okay.
great find from Squishy Panda.
Okay.
Let's see if they go ahead and check the Turtle Rock medallion as well.
Yeah. Probably check Turtle Rock and then was that Ether?
I think that was Ether, yeah.
Perfect. I think Eastern's a really good play now. It's a dungeon we need to do, so
you also do have the option with Ether to hop in there and get your first couple checks out of the way. I could understand why the players would not want to do that though, because you're only able to get a couple checks without the fire rod.
Yep. Spike Cave. What do you have for us?
There's nothing ever has been in Spike Cave. We've never seen a race decided by, by someone checking Spike Cave.
Magic Bat.
Yeah, I joke. One of the races I commented last week, we had one player go into Spike Cave and one player go into Spiral Cave. One player found their Go Mode mirror in Spike Cave, I think. No, Go Mode mirror in Spiral Cave, and then the other player had their Go Mode mitts in Spike Cave.
Wait, the mirror was Go Mode? That can't.
Yeah, they had a Go
common.
Mode mirror that they were looking for.
That cannot be common. I feel like mirror locks so much.
Mirror locks surprisingly little.
Oh.
You can actually have, depending on what dungeons are crystals, you could potentially have a mirrorless seed.
Really? Okay. And
the mirrorless seeds are pretty rare because it requires mire and potentially desert to be pendants.
Okay. Yeah, Squishy opening up pod, it looks like.
Yep, going for that.
There's the
their
book.
book.
You know what that means, right? It's gonna be on Bombos tablet.
I think we'll get Bombos on Bombos tablet.
It's always on Bombos tablet. Come on, you know this. Just makes sense. We have Master Sword, we have book.
And Drew Bragi's not going to have that book. So while they're down here in the Dark World, they're not going to be able to loop that in with their South Dark World checks. But it was smart doing the Smith chain on their way down here, though.
Yep.
Because they have everything they need to finish Swamp, they can just get these checks all out of the way.
Oh.
And so I don't know if
Wait.
I've showed you this one yet. This is the blacksmith, the purple box thing. So you'll notice that Drew Bragi left behind the purple box.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I did
oh no,
notice
that's a
that.
mistake, right? Well,
Isn't it?
it's not quite. The box doesn't actually get deleted until after you come back to the light world. And if you come back to the light world in the turn-in spot, it will reward you before it deletes the purple chest.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Just be careful not to do it where in the wrong spot, because if you don't do it exactly at the turn-in spot, it will delete the chest and you're gonna have to go all the way back and get him.
Yep. And there. Speaking of Bombos, we just got the Bombos med.
Yep, looks good. Squishy Panda doing their dip into Eastern, like you said, finding Bombos.
Pretty big, as we do not know what unlocks Meyer.
Yep, Meyer is still unknown, and it will continue to be unknown until one of our players finds the flute.
And yeah, it looks like Drew's gonna get their bow here shortly.
Yep, Drew's gonna get the bow. They're gonna be very happy with that. That's going to put Eastern in logic, and actually, it's gonna put Eastern and Pod in logic.
Yep. Squishy getting a little excited and trying to open the big chest without having the big key yet.
A little early, but they'll get it here in this next area.
Yeah. Looks like small pots are stun prize. Yeah, that is
just confirming that Turtle Rock is Ether.
Yep, 110% Ether. Get that damage boost. Get the big key. Whoa, that went fast.
Yeah, any stairs you can do the speed boost on. It's a little tricky, but you can do it on the stairs here as well, in that previous room.
Burrito!
And Drew Bragi getting their bow now needs to decide where they're gonna go next.
Wait, Drew didn't open up one of the chests.
Did he miss a chest?
Yeah.
Oh, oops.
Oops, my bad. Now we're just got Squishy heading towards the boss.
Looks like Drew's gonna make the choice to get those early TR checks. This could be another big divergence point if there's something big here.
Okay, this is interesting.
So basically what Druu is hoping happens here is you want to find a small key in the bottom left room. Without the fire rod, you can't do the right side room.
Okay.
But if you get a small key in that first left room, it does give you a chance to get an item from the Chain Chomp room. If the Chain Chomp room has the item, then you're done there. But if it has a key, then you can continue on and get some more checks done in Turtle Rock as well.
Okay. Very clean Armos fight. Wow. That was fast. That was really fast. You know, one of my favorite parts about tournaments like this is seeing the growth of players throughout the tournament, as this is like a beginner friendly tournament. I love being able to see players grow throughout like tournaments like these, and then how much they can improve in such a short amount of time being new players. Like me, for example, like I've even just in these first few weeks improved a lot, and like I just love seeing that in all players.
Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of players just get PB over PB, and I
Yeah,
imagine if you look at the if you took like the obviously randomizers gonna be randomizers, but I bet you if you added up the total average time for seeds from like week 1 to week 6, I imagine you'd probably see a very steady drop in times as people kind of learn new tricks, learn the game, get more comfortable with the different game modes like Cas Boots, Open.
yep. Um, Seeing a pod play now.
Yep,
From
Pod is
Squishy.
fully clearable, so a lot of players like to lump both of those dungeons in together.
Um,
A bug net for Druu Bragi's troubles.
yeah. Unfortunately, pod is a pendant, but you know it has so many checks. We have lamp. We have everything to do pod. I think so. Why wouldn't we do it?
Yeah, it's 5 checks, and technically 6 if you count the pedestal as a check from Pod.
Yeah, pretty much.
5 and a third checks. I don't think Squishy will choose to finish Pod if they find all of their items at the entrance here, but
Yeah, pod's easy enough to get back to finish.
yeah, it's a
Pet is
quick
something.
dungeon. It's pretty dense, and in my experience, even as a pendant dungeon, Pod is usually worth going to. There's very rarely that I'm going to do Pod and not get something useful out of it.
Yeah. Watch, now that you said that, this is gonna
I
be
just ruined it. You're right. Yeah. Sorry, Squishy. I'm sorry. But it's not going to burn Squishy either way because it looks like that's where Druu Bragi is going as well. So even if there is nothing in Pod, both players are going to be making the play, so neither player will really lose time over the other player from this.
Yep. Another bottle.
Yeah,
Blue bottle,
already
though.
pre-filled too.
I'll take it. I will take that any day. Yeah, this makes sense on Druu's part as well, still needing to do Eastern. That being a required dungeon.
Yeah, and if you're here, you might as well just knock it out. Druu,
Yep.
get in the book.
I don't think we've gone anything but the bottle here thus far. Oh, that.
So yeah, that little red guy is quite annoying. And you cannot... Yeah, it's really hard to throw the bomb over. Leaving and coming back is usually the better way to reset the enemy and just get him out of the way.
I learned that pain yesterday. Okay, going right side first. Oh, I guess we don't have the big key, I don't think.
Yeah, it's a little risky going left, and if you're planning on getting all of the items anyway, you might as well go right to see if you get that big key or not.
There's one item. I think we've seen, what, 2 or 3?
I have not been counting. We saw the bottle, we saw the heart, we saw... I can't remember anything else. I think they got some Did they get a rupee prize?
Maybe? Maybe we've only seen 2. I don't think we've seen the big key yet.
Yeah, big key is going to be in this dark room here.
Dark room? What are you talking about? I can see everything. And silvers. That okay, pod worth it. Instantly. Never punished.
Yeah, even if you find nothing else, being able to do Ganon Silverless will cut, you know, a pretty decent chunk of time out of that fight. Not the entire time it took to clear Pod, but it's a good little consolation prize. And just not even just Ganon, it's going to make a lot of the game faster. Your GT climb, some of the bosses are going to die in one hit to the silvers. So getting silvers early on will just save you a little bit of time here and there throughout your run.
Okay, so something to note. I do believe Um, that the boss was an item, and Squishy decided to orphan that, which I probably would have done the same thing because it's a bit of a time sink to go all the way through the back of pod.
Yeah, it's a personal choice you got to make. So if you do abandon that item, you do have to just be okay with knowing that if there was something there, that is a hard last locate at this point. Because you're gonna have to go all the way back to pod. You're gonna have to go back to the back of the dungeon, take out Helmasaur. So if you're fine with that risk, it's gonna save time. Like as we see Squishy Panda, if they do just, or if Druu Bragi doesn't leave that behind and it ends up being nothing, Squishy Panda just gained a couple minutes of time saved over Druu Bragi. So
Yep.
So Squishy Panda might have gotten those silvers and said, you know what, I have everything I need from here. There's other dungeons I can do, ice palaces and logic, swamp palaces and logic. So thinking maybe I only need a couple more items for go mode. I'm really only looking for the fire rod and the flute. So Squishy Panda gonna be going with the more likely play that their items are somewhere in some of these two dungeons that they haven't done yet.
Yep. I think Ice Palace is a really good play. We have Cane, so we could Icebreaker. We have, yeah, I think it's just overall a good play. It's a required dungeon. The way I like to look at it is the more time you spend in your required dungeons clearing those out, the better you're off. Like, because who knows, you could find those couple items you're looking for go mode in those dungeons. So
exactly,
well getting your product or your oh my gosh, my brain
you're
is
eating your
blanking.
Vegetables. You got to do it anyway, so just knock it out.
Well getting your oh my gosh, I just said the word.
And we got an icebreaker from Squishy Panda.
Yep, that was pretty clean. I'm just gonna put what I was thinking. Progression, that's what I was thinking. Oh my gosh.
So Druu Bragi finishing up Eastern. We're gonna see if they decide to go into pod. If they do not, they're gonna be missing out on their silvers, but they will save a lot of time having to clear that dungeon out because it looks like we didn't really find anything required for the seed. But Squishy Panda getting a tempered sword in Ice Palace, that's a very comfortable find.
Yep.
Graduating from Master Sword is always a good feeling.
Yeah, exactly. You know what's even a better feeling? Graduating from Tempered Sword.
Yeah, and another thing we did find in here was the flute. So that means the only required item now, barring a Quake-locked Misery Mire, is going to be the Fire Rod.
Okay. I did not realize that we got the flute. That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, Squishy Panda found the flute in the Ice Palace. So two of the three items are pretty good finds. We've got the flute and the tempered sword in here. The quicker Druu Bragi comes into Ice Palace, the better. Wait, wasn't Bombos in pod? Where did Squishy Panda find Bombos?
Bombos was right side Eastern. I think.
So Druu Bragi missed Bombos.
I'm pretty sure it was in Eastern. Oh.
Oh, it's just not marked. Okay, gotcha. Never mind. Druu Bragi does have it. It's just not marked. Okay. I had to read chat for a second.
Yep.
So yeah, Ice Palace, great play from Squishy Panda. I think, I believe they will be heading over to Swamp if I had to guess. There's going to be 6 more checks they can get there, and they're only looking for the Ice Rod, so Once they find
Yep.
Ice Rod, they'll be Go Mode, and Go Mode, pretty quick Go Mode for an open seed,
Yeah.
especially with most of your dungeons already completed.
Yeah, I'm curious to see where Fire Rod is.
Well, I know where Squishy Panda wants Fire Rod to be.
Yes.
Either right here or in Swamp.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, actually, looks like I missed the third item. Thought we were still looking for one.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think it's a pretty clear play on what's next. Swamp. Oh, we could be Quake as well, depending on Meyer.
Yeah, if Myers Quake locked, they will need another item for Go Mode.
But it's not gonna be Quake, right?
It couldn't be. It would never be Quake.
Surely not.
I don't think I've ever seen a Quake locked Mire. It's never happened.
I think we'll probably see it here pretty quick.
Pretty Quake?
Pretty Quake.
And honestly, with activating the flute, I wouldn't be surprised if Squishy Panda goes to check that medallion first, because when you go down there to do the check, you can also, while you're there, you can also get your Back of Mire Shed, your Checkerboard Cave, turn your
Agnes
bottle
Cave.
as well.
Yeah, we haven't checked the what's it called? Agnes Cave or
Oh yeah,
Agathos?
Gina's Cave is open as well.
Agina's.
Neither player checked the Bombos tablet.
Yep. Yeah, Bombos tablet. Always has something, am I right? That being said, with this little bit of overlap, I think it's better time than any to do a quick shout out as we are an hour in. So yeah, big shout out to our runners, Druu, Bragi, and SquishyPanda. Putting on one heck of a show today.
Yeah,
I'm
neck and
enjoying
neck so far.
I'm enjoying every bit of it. Big shout out to our tracker, Haiku. Thank you for
2 eyes, 1 on each player.
yeah, thank you so much for the work that the trackers do. Would not be possible without trackers. And then finally, a big thank you to our restreamer, Mr. Angry Pants, as well as my fellow Cop Noodle.
Hello, thank you.
Thank you for hanging out with me today.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we're gonna see some new checks.
Yep, Druu Bragi. I don't know if Druu Bragi ever did Hope. Oh no, he's going to Ice Palace. Okay, so Ice Palace, great play. We know that Druu Bragi is gonna find some very, very nice items in here.
Oh yeah.
And we've got a Bombos locked Misery Mire, so Misery Mire is open.
Okay, so yeah, we are Fire Rod from Go.
And it looks like while Squishy Panda's here, they're just going to knock out Misery Mire, get it out of the way. There are 2 checks here, so there are 2 possible items you can get. I think the logic for Squishy Panda doing Mire first rather than Swamp is not so much the check density. They want to find their Go Mode item while they're in Mire, because a Go Mode Swamp is much, much faster.
Yeah,
with a Go Mode Mire, you may still end up doing the whole dungeon. With a Go Mode Swamp, you are guaranteed to be able to skip a lot of the checks there.
Yep, no, exactly. And I think another big thing too is, since you want to go and check the med required anyway, you're there, so why not just go in and getting it instead of wasting time fluting away?
Exactly, right? Yeah.
If you're there and it's required and you can do it, just do it. Yeah, TR is also Balmos. No, TR's Ether.
Yep. Ether Rock.
Regardless, we have both required meds.
We also saw Druu Bragi, I think, go into Turtle Rock. They did see that it is fire rod locked. The first chest was like a set of arrows, I think. So they have no way to get into the back of TR without a fire rod. Which, in my opinion, it kind of sucks that it's like, oh, I went in there and I didn't find anything. But at the same time, it's a lot of peace of mind knowing that you didn't leave it behind, and you're like, man, what if I went into TR?
Yep, no, exactly. Druu didn't get Icebreaker first try, but surely second try, right?
Yeah, there's a couple different setups you can do for Icebreaker.
I think this is the one you taught me, actually.
Yeah, that's the only difference is Druu Bragi did not pause buffer. It saves a little bit of time, but it makes the movement a little more precise for it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, if you're, and there's the flute for Druu Bragi. I recommend if you're learning Icebreaker, pause buffering will help you kind of get the timing down, and it'll slow it down a lot for you while you're first starting out with it. So
yeah, I think you taught me with the sword slashes, but I ended up learning the pause buffer method over YouTube. But yeah, I think
and then as you get better at it, you can kind of improve it and learn the faster strat.
Yeah, and honestly, it's probably one of my favorite tricks to do because it's so much fun.
It looks so cool when you do it too.
Hey, I know. It was like the one trick I learned, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's see if I just heading to the boss now, correct?
I think Druu Bragi may decide to. Actually, I don't think Druu Bragi did iced tea, but I think they're just going. They got all 3 items, so yeah, they're not gonna need to do iced tea.
Yep, just both players going to their respective boss fights at the moment. Wait, did Druu not beat Eastern?
Druu beat Eastern, yeah.
Okay. I just saw a flash on right now.
Yeah, Druu did Eastern into no, actually Druu did not do not finish it at least. Yeah. Did get their silvers.
Yep. Yeah, I think Druu did the same thing and just left after
it's a smart play. I usually, if it's a pendant pod and I'm missing one item, I'm usually fine with just leaving Helmosaur, unless it's one of my last checks.
Utilizing the blue cane here, very smart as we were getting.
Yeah, Cold Stare does a lot of contact damage, especially if you don't have red mail. So great safety strat using the blue cane. No Fire Rod in Misery Mire, but it's going to let you drop off right next to Desert, which is a pendant, but you can get a couple checks out of here while you're in the area.
I mean, not only is it a pendant, but it is the green pendant.
Yeah, so that's up to 3 checks, depending on if they decide to finish and get the boss or not.
Yeah, it's always risky, though.
Yep, but it's randomizer, so that item is somewhere, and it can be here.
Yep, Rando's gonna rando. So let Rando.
And Druu Bragi also gonna go ahead and activate their flute. Speaking of which, SquishyPanda making a huge key decision to come into Desert, getting that torch off the torch.
Not gonna lie,
and that is going to be a go mode swamp for SquishyPanda, meaning that they're just going to be able to fly through here.
I'm not gonna lie, that is kind of a gross spot.
It's not ideal for Druu Bragi, but if Druu Bragi does Misery Mire next, I think they're probably gonna make the same play and just hop into Desert, get those checks out of the way real quick.
Wow. Okay.
So Squishy Panda definitely has a pretty solid lead. I'm wondering, is Druu Bragi checking Ped right now?
Maybe? I mean, this far into the seed, running low on things to do, you kind of want to see, are those pendant dungeons required or not?
You get a little curious.
Um, yeah, that swamp go mode's gonna be pretty nice. Go mode Turtle Rock.
Yep, 3 bombs on the pedestal.
Squishy's done ice already. So yeah, it just
Another
needs to
thing
go.
about waiting until getting Fire Rod for your Go Mode item is it's gonna let Squishy just go straight to the back of Skullwoods.
Yep, no, exactly.
I mean, look how quick this dungeon is. Almost like just a minute long, pretty much. And great route through the torch room. Ooh, a little quick on dodging the the wall master there.
Apparently Haiku marked the crystals wrong and only has 2 pendants. So what was the third dungeon that was a pendant?
It was Pod, Desert, and... Oh wait, was Swamp a pendant?
Swamp might be a pendant.
Oh, if it's Pendant Swamp, then this is gonna be it for Squishy.
Turtle Rock still, but yeah.
And Druu Bragi going to head up, get their checkerboard cave.
Yep, just trying to
They
hunt
mirrored to the
down.
light world for a second, and I was like, "Oh, are they gonna find it?"
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, they're at desert.
We'd still got a race.
Yeah.
If Druu Bragi finds that Fire Rod, though, it's still pretty good. They're about a dungeon behind, but
Yep.
we shall see. Turtle Rock does take a while, and we could see some Ganon shenanigans as well.
Yes.
But it looks like at this point, Squishy Panda does have a pretty healthy lead against Druu Bragi.
Yep. It's not over till it's over though. That's
Exactly.
we're past the rando's gonna rando thing. Now it's just bosses are gonna boss. And yeah. I guess rando can still rando keys and whatnot.
Yeah, and it could come down to some variance in the GT routing. So one
Yep.
player might prefer a certain way through Ganon's Tower basement, and another player might prefer another route, and that can make a difference of a couple minutes potentially.
Exactly. And just like that, Squishy has opened up Turtle Rock.
So Squishy's hoping for a very early big key in Turtle Rock. That's going to let them know that they can go ahead and loot the key room. They're not going to need the big key chest.
Yep.
First item in Misery Mire are going to be some bombs.
Where's this big key in Turtle Rock?
Yeah, you're wanting to find it in these 2 chests here.
One key, and there's
And
the
there it
big
is.
key.
Okay,
All
so that's
right, beautiful.
good news for Squishy Panda.
It's gonna be a quick turtle rock. Looking over on the other side of things, yeah, just some pretty standard Maya routing, I'd say.
Yep, Squishy Panda finding the arrows. And great chain chomp room from Squishy Panda.
Oh yeah.
Only getting hit once.
Hey, better than
Big,
dying or
yeah,
getting
a
hit
little
like
bite
twice.
on the way out.
That's the key tax. Oh, right. Yeah, Squishy needs to steal this key, don't they?
Yep.
I got a little confused. I was like, wait, why are they coming down here?
Yep, gotta get this key. It's gonna give you a little more leeway to skip a little more of the dungeon later on as well.
Yep, and I don't think either of our runners are going to require it, but I think they both have a blue pot that they have saved up as well, which could come in handy.
Yeah, even if you don't need it for the health reasons, it's very nice to have the blue pot because it lets you be a little more aggressive with the magic that you're using.
Yeah,
You can use your rods a little more. You can use your cape or your cane a little more.
exactly. We have a lot of hearts.
Yeah, very healthy seed. A lot of those hearts they got really early in the run as well.
Yep, exactly.
And second item for Druu Bragi, gonna be red mail. This late in the game, it's not a huge find, but a little comfort definitely helps.
Yep. Magic fill for Squishy. I did not know about that magic fill. One of my favorite parts about commentating is just everything I learn. I always learn things when I'm commentating, whether it be like different strats that I don't know about, or certain little like item pickups like that magic refill. Like I always learn something new every time I commentate.
Yeah, stuff that you can kind of just work into your future runs, add it to your toolbox.
Exactly. Fire Rod was the boot slot check in desert.
Yep, so we had a torch on the torch.
Yep. We're coming to the end of Turtle Rock here.
Yep, all that's left is a Trinex fight.
Oh yeah. Are they gonna heal before, or do you think they're just 6-heart it?
Yeah, if you're pretty good with Trinex, you've got blue mail, so you can afford a hit or two. You might as well just wait until you're a little bit closer to dying.
Oh, this is... I think one more hit, because that did 3 hearts.
Yep, Squishy Panda is confident though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, not as confident, but No, they should be fine though. Trinex is a little bit of a
Oh,
baby
easy.
once they're out of the
Easy.
shell.
Beautiful. Druu just finishing up Meyer.
Yep, so this is a very, very pivotal moment for Druu Bragi. Do they go into Desert Palace or not after coming out of Misery Mire? This is going to define the rest of the run for them.
Looks like it.
I
Maybe
see the
not.
mirror. It looks like they're going to go in through the back. Always a good choice because if you go in through the back, you can potentially, if you're planning on full clearing the dungeon,
Okay.
use the mirror to kind of get back to that entrance.
Yep.
So
And yeah, they're gonna be getting their fire rod here very, very quickly.
they're going to be
Like
thrilled to see
3,
this.
2, 1, there it is.
Yeah.
Go
And that's go
mode!
mode, get out of there, go to Skull Woods. They're already getting the flute out. Druu Bragi knows exactly where they're going.
Yep. Where do you think again Tower Big Key is gonna be?
Well, with Squishy Panda going to the right, if I'm rooting for Druu Bragi, I'm
Oh,
hoping it's gonna be. Oh,
oh.
okay, that's GT. Okay, so great basement from Squishy Panda. The hope room was maximum hope today.
Yep, Key and Big Key, like can't
Yep,
ask for
so
much
we are
more.
done with the basement.
All right, now we just gotta climb.
Yep, Squishy Panda has silvers. Both players have silvers. So this will be a pretty quick GT climb. With full arrows, Squishy Panda is going to be able to use pretty much everything they want during the gauntlet.
Yep, pretty much ether bombos if they so please. Tempered sword. They got silvers. They have everything they could desire for Ganon climb.
Yeah, silvers are great for this just because you can take out a lot of those enemies. Everything dies in one hit.
Yep. Meanwhile, we got Druu heading into Skullwoods. Gonna go fight the moth.
Yep. This
Probably
should be a pretty quick dungeon.
Probably my least favorite boss.
It's a lot of people's least favorite boss.
It's not so much the boss, it's the room.
Yeah, you're fighting the room more than the boss, that's true.
Yeah, Mr. Angry Pants got that. Least favorite room. Pretty much. That being said, red mail, tempered, fire rod, a blue pot, you should be fine. You have basically you have every safety measure you can need for Moth.
Yeah, Druu Bragi is not in any real danger here. It's just kind of a tedious fight, potentially. Moth not really playing very nice. There we go.
Nope. But Moth is down.
Some good silvers from Squishy Panda on these Lambos.
Very good silvers.
Druu Bragi just needs to head up to Turtle Rock.
Yep, and then
finish out GT.
Yep. Squishy having a pretty clean climb so far.
Yeah, climb looking great from Squishy.
Haven't really seen anything go incredibly wrong here. Let's see. This room can be a bit annoying at times.
Oh no. Speaking of which.
Yep.
So at that point, it looks like Squishy's just gonna let the torch go out. You don't want to light everything and then lose the torch.
Trying to find this fire rod and quick swap.
Yep, and you're gonna get a full magic fill up here, so looking pretty
Beautiful.
good for Squishy. We'll see if they decide to loot these
Ooh,
chests
that
in
bonk
here,
was
hoping for a butter sword, maybe.
super clean.
Very stylish bonk.
Oh yeah.
Nope,
Nope.
Squishy does not need anything. They are on a roll, going for a very good time, honestly. They're only at 1:24 right now. And Squishy about to go into Aga 2, so this will be a very quick seed for these players.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like. I actually have no idea how to gauge this. Ooh, that was a poke. That's unfortunate.
Oh, Moldorm is angry. There we go.
Yep. Okay, beautiful.
Validation chest. Are we gonna get the chest? There we
Yeah,
go.
we will.
It's a heart for your troubles. Oh!
Oh no! Don't you love when that happens?
Squishy Panda wanted to just wanted to go visit the anti-fairies down here.
Just
Give Moldorm another chance.
Oh, that respawns Moldorm?
It does, but since the chest has appeared, like you saw there, Squishy is able to hookshot over to it. But yeah, if you fall after Moldorm, it will reset. That also applies to the Ice Armos as well. So we had, I think we had a race where someone didn't loot the full Ice Armos chest, and they had to go back and fight Ice Armos again.
Nice double. Another double. Another. Oh. Single. So we're at what? 4 hits?
Enough.
There we go. Now we are just have to go beat Ganon.
Yep, all that's left for Squishy Panda is a Ganon fight with half magic, tempered sword, and silver arrows. This should be a pretty quick one.
As well as a blue pot.
Yep, we got the blue pot for safety. Full health.
Yep.
So we need 12 hits to force Ganon into the third phase.
Some bootstraps here.
Just me dashing through Ganon. Little style points.
Pop in the blue pot.
They're gonna refill
Maybe.
that magic in a minute.
Yeah. Gonna worry less about the damage.
And going into phase 3. And it looks like Squishy Panda on the silvers not going to bother with the torch glitch. They got half magic. They're just going to go for the quick hit with the silvers.
Yep.
If they're really lucky, they might be able to get the hit and the torch glitch, depending on where Ganon goes.
Oh.
And waiting for Ganon to teleport, getting him in the middle of a teleport will let you set up for a double hit with the bow. You can also do it if you stand to the side of him.
Okay.
And then moving forward as you
That
shoot.
was a clean
But yeah,
Ganon
very
fight.
good Ganon fight from Squishy Panda.
I think what? He got at least one double.
And GG, congratulations.
GG's.
Some excellent choices from Squishy Panda on where to go. Just making some
Yeah,
great calls through that entire run.
yeah, and in the meantime, we have Druu just finishing up Turtle Rock, it looks like.
Yep, looking for that last key. It's going to be at the very bottom of the laser bridge. They've got a green potion. Looks like they're going to use it just to fill up that key one more time. There's your
Yeah.
key. And then
Oh,
heading
well.
right back up, they're going to be getting Trinex, and then Druu Bragi also going to be able to start their GT climb.
Yep, pretty much. That shouldn't be too bad.
Yep, Trinex with Red Mail, Half Magic, Tempered Sword, going to be pretty
Yeah,
laid back fight.
not much can go wrong. Honestly, for being like, I think vanilla game, this is the last dungeon before you do the climb, I
Yep.
believe.
So yeah, you'll finish up here, and then in the vanilla game, and then you head up to Ganon's Tower to do the actual fight.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, being it's the last boss in the game, technically, like, it's not a hard boss.
He destroys a lot of players starting out. He can be pretty
I-
nasty if you're doing it with low resources.
yeah, but like, I think, oh, I think that Trinex doesn't even come close to like Moth or Blind. um, hello,
Oh,
GG's.
Thank you.
congratulations! That was a very quick run.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we got lucky and hit the god route and just
Yeah.
kept running with it.
Was
Yeah.
that a sub? That was a sub 130, eh?
It was 129.10.
Yeah. That's insanely fast. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, like, Drew's gonna get a fairly fast time too, like sub 140 maybe.
Depends on which way he decides to go in GT. We saw you go for that hope room. You immediately got the big key and the small key.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
that was a very good break there.
Ten and I were talking about how we should do GT, and she's like, "Well, I do it the same way every time," and I was like, "Yeah, then let's do it that way," and it played off.
Well, there wasn't much playing in the basement. You just went in there and you were all finished.
Yep.
But that was kind of how most of your run ended up. Everywhere you went just seemed to be the right place. You made so many good calls that run.
Yeah, definitely the pyramid to front of escape was what Tenet believed was our best play. Instead
Yeah.
of bailing as soon as we got mitts, continuing the Dark World route that I was trying to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I
And
thought
then,
Druu
yeah.
Bragi was about to leave. Okay, so there's the early 2 checks from Druu Bragi as well.
Yep.
But yeah, so yeah, how did you, aside from getting a very good time, how did you feel in general about that run? Were there any big like aha moments?
I'd say not really. We just kept playing into the logic. As soon as we find something, we just follow it to whatever was next.
Yeah.
Every
That's-
time we made a plan, like what are we gonna do after this? It would be like, oh, there's the bow. Let's do this instead. It was always knee-jerk changes, but it played out really well.
Yeah, staying flexible like that can be really big in races like this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
definitely.
exactly. And kind of being able to adjust on the fly depending on what you find. That's definitely a big rando skill. Oh. Yeah, I don't think we had what? One technically required item in pendant dungeons being the fire rod, but silvers and pod as well. Or no, the flute. Oh no, flute was in ice. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like you guys all made pretty good choices on diving pendant dungeons. Swamp was never required. You got your Yeah, you got your fire rod right away in desert.
Yeah, and
Yep.
swamp being open so early, we actually considered it, and we're like, thankfully we didn't. It'd have been a huge time.
Yeah.
to lose.
Yeah, it's always a little
been
tempting opening it up early because you're like, why do I have swamp access so early? Kind of gets to
Yeah,
the back of your head.
that could have been the difference right there as well. Like, um, if
So they dipped swamp.
no, they
No,
didn't.
no,
But
neither player, yeah.
if you did, that could have made the difference. Is what I was saying.
Gotcha.
Yeah, both of you took very different routes, especially in the early and mid game. But there were a few points where you were just like synced up. When you
Yeah.
were climbing Death Mountain, you were like on the same screen at the same time in Death Mountain on your first climb up through there.
Yeah, just holding hands.
Well, I'm excited to rewatch that just to see how it played out. Because different routes, I'd love to see how they played it out.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's one thing I recommend to people is like I like to personally go back to previous races no matter what game it is. I'm not on the Link to the Past main, but even when I'm playing my main game, I always go back and if I'm in a race and even if I lose, I'll go back and watch it and then kind of see where I could have gone differently, just like kind of trying to learn for the next thing, right?
Yeah, especially if you can kind of like side by side it and see like where the mistakes you made compared to someone else in the routing that you might not have noticed.
Exactly. And then same thing.
I think in your case, the routing mistakes were few and far between, though. Like I said, you were just on top of every single drop this entire run.
Yep. But yeah, it's definitely something I recommend to everyone who races, is to like try and go back and at least watch bits and pieces.
Yeah,
It's
sounds
just
good.
and not even just to like learn, but also sometimes it's just interesting to see another person's point of view, how they interpreted the logic and whatnot.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and that's what I'm going to do right now, actually. So I really appreciate you guys having me, and I appreciate everything. And thanks
Yeah,
for streaming.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah, yeah, I appreciate you coming in for an interview. I appreciate you putting on one heck of a show. And yeah, it was great. Do you have anything else you'd like to say about the scene?
Or any shout outs, anyone you'd like to...
I mean, shout out to Tenet for helping me out, and every other mentor who's taken time to review anything I've done, even though I'm stubborn and don't listen sometimes. So I really appreciate that. Thanks, GoMo Podcast, for hosting this, and I will catch y'all later.
Awesome.
Yeah, have a good
Thank
one.
you
Thanks
very
for
much.
coming, and congratulations
have a
on
good
your
one.
win.
And good luck in your future matches.
Thank you.
That being said, we got Druu climbing his way up.
Yep.
Looks like we're almost at Aga.
Yep, all he has to do is fight one Moldorm.
One Moldorm that can
Hopefully
be
not two
temperamental.
Moldorms.
Yeah, you know, it can happen. Let's see.
So Moldorm dies to one spin and one slash. However, I think that was a spark. So if that does happen, if you get a poke or a spark with the tempered sword, you can do your slash ahead of time, and that way you can still avoid the
fast phase
speed up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Druu Bragi does not want the piece of heart.
Fair enough.
And with half magic, Druu Bragi gonna decide, you know what, I don't want to deal with this room. We're just gonna skip it. Just use the cape, get out of there.
Now all we got to do is Aga.
Yep. And Aga with a couple annoying patterns too.
Yeah. Nice double.
We did double.
Not a nice setup for a double either, so that's pretty good. Another double. This has been very clean.
Oh, that could have been another one if Aga wasn't shooting a blue beam there, or a blue ball there.
And that should be it?
But, yep, with 6 hits right there. Quick Agatu and Druu Bragi gonna be able to go into Ganon.
Oh, no, if you... Yeah, Ganon. Cool. Let's see. Everyone's favorite boss.
Yep, so 12 hits per phase with the Tempered Sword. Looks like Druu gonna do the same thing we saw with Squishy Panda. You've got all that extra magic, so you got the extra blue pop. Might as well just knock this out real quick.
Oh, and doing the cape glitch there to conserve magic as well.
Yep, just lets you ignore the bats the entire time. It's a little dangerous to do it right now because if he uses the fire bats on the first teleport, you might not have enough time to get to him. Ooh, that was very, very close for Druu Bragi. Almost falling off there, but looks like he was able to get back on before the tiles disappeared.
Yep. Teleporting.
Ganon, come on. There we go.
Get the torch out. And that's the last hit, correct?
Yep. So he's also going to not do the torch glitch. Oh, actually, he's going to try to get both. Best of both worlds here.
No!
Oh, Ganon going to the
That
worst possible teleport location.
That
If he
was
would have gone
so
anywhere
close.
else, if he would have been
Yeah.
anywhere else, that would have let him get the torch glitch and the first silver, but
That was so beautiful, but no.
yeah,
That's-
Ganon decided Ganon chose violence.
Yeah, it happens. That's just that's like nothing to do with Druu and execution. That's just like an unfortunate teleport.
But
Just
he's got the blue potion, so he's gonna give it another go.
Yep.
And the counter for the 12 hits does not start counting until the actual phase change. The phase change is when he lifts up the trident and starts spinning it.
Okay. Interesting. I did not know that.
He's already in the next phase. Just gotta watch out for the fire bats.
Oh, that was a really quick phase too. And then correct me if I'm wrong, but Ganon's pattern changes when you fall and have to reset the fight, correct?
Yes. So when you
Yeah.
roll the seed in the vanilla game, it's random every time. And when you roll a randomizer seed, in order to make it fair for racers, there's a lot of patterns and RNG in the game that's fixed, that's seeded. However, that seed gets updated when Ganon, like if you fall during Ganon. So the second time you come into Ganon, you're not going to get the same RNG pattern.
Yep. Unfortunate not able to get the torch glitch, but it happens.
Does
Nice
get
double.
and gonna get another one there.
That
Needs
was
one more for the last hit.
ooh, okay. Yeah, dodge
Impatient with
that.
the bat, doesn't want to fall down. Smart.
Probably gonna have to relight that left torch, I think.
I think he might have time to get.
No.
Oh, just
So
barely.
close. So close. Yeah, just
He's
wait
just
for
gonna
the
wait for both. Wait for the bat. Yep, just take your
dodge
time.
that. No point in rushing it. No more blue pots, so you have to kind of be smart with your magic.
Not anymore though.
And-
That's the last
yeah.
hit. All you gotta do is wait for those stairs to pop up, and we've got another finisher. Congratulations, Druu, for finishing the seed. 144, still a pretty quick time.
Yep, big GG's. Yeah, really good time. I think anything sub like 2 hours or 150, sub 150 is like pretty quick in my opinion. Um, but yeah, wow, that is like one heck of a seed.
Yep, 1:44:19.
That's a really good time. I would be very happy with that time. Yeah, that being said, like I think we've seen most. We saw most of the seed, I think, besides like a couple
Well, we
checks.
definitely didn't see Swamp Palace. Good riddance.
Swamp Palace or any more of desert. But yeah, and then pod, and then a couple overworld checks. I guess I think we saw the majority of overworld though.
Yeah, pretty much. I can't think of many checks we didn't see.
Mimic Cave.
Yeah, we skipped Mimic Cave. We saw Spike Cave. Both players went to Spike Cave really quick, actually.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Yep.
You had half magic, you had blue rod, you had boots.
Yeah, best to just knock it out of the way while you're there. I don't think we saw either of the tablets.
Yeah, we didn't see
Both
either
came
of the
really late when they
tablets.
were almost go mode, so we didn't see
I
the
think,
back of Desert.
yep, we didn't see the Pyramid Fairy.
Yep, yeah. With with red crystals on Turtle Rock and Mire, I
Yeah.
was not confident we were going to see a Pyramid Fairy that seed.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and we have Druu Bragi in the booth here. Welcome in,
Congratulations.
GG's.
Hello.
How do you feel about the seed?
Um, that's the third time I've been under 2 hours, so I'm okay with it.
Nice. Yeah,
Nice.
you were under 2 hours by quite a bit there on that one.
Yeah, and I just looking at race time, it looks like a 15-minute gap exactly.
Oh, to the second.
Yes, to the second, it is a 15-minute gap.
Yeah, there was a lot of points in that race. You and Squishy Panda, especially towards the beginning, were neck and neck. Like when you were climbing Death Mountain, I mentioned in the earlier interview, you were both on the same screen at the same time, even though you had both taken like vastly different opening routes.
Nice.
I don't
Yeah, I
think.
said it's one of your faster seeds. How else? Like, was there anything, any like big points in that seed where you got like a certain item and you were like, okay, now we're moving. Like this is like a big break.
The fire rod, because as soon as I got the book, I was like, what does it want me to do in desert?
Yeah,
Why
that's
is it?
actually a good read.
Why isn't telling me to go to desert? Now I
Yeah.
just put it off until after Mire, which lost a little bit of time in Mire and probably lost a little bit in Pod.
Yeah.
Goofing off.
Yeah, fortunately for Pod though, both of you decided to dive into there, so you didn't lose much time over the other player in Pod, fortunately.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, how is so this is like week 3 of the group or the Swiss phases. How are you doing this week compared to your previous 2 weeks?
Every week I seem to get a little bit better.
Nice.
And considering I've only did like 6 randomizers before even signing up for this, I'll call that a win.
Oh, for sure,
Because
absolutely.
before doing any of this and getting any mentorship at all, I was like struggling to get 3-hour times. So
You almost chopped it in half at this point.
Yep.
pretty much. Quick learning, going through the practice hack every day.
Nice.
And yeah, with a time like that, if you haven't won a round already, I'm pretty sure you're in a position to start winning them within the next couple weeks. Start taking games off people.
I'm 0-3, but that's okay.
Yeah.
The first 2 rounds were just they threw us. It happens.
Hey, we've all been there. I'm in the same situation, so that's all right. But yeah, definitely, as you said, you're improving at a fast pace, and it's what we love to see in tournaments like this, is to see players improve who are new to the game, and be able to see that improvement as the tournament progresses. So it's definitely something we like to see in this tournament, is how people are improving, and by the sounds of it, you are improving very, very fast.
Yeah, we saw some good stuff too. We got to see the Harapod. You got the icebreaker in there.
A lot of the stuff I had to learn after switching from 100% NMG attempts over to Rando, because that stuff's never there.
The
Yep.
NMG players are always interesting because you see them pull out these like random tricks that you don't really consider as. So I've played Link to the Past like as a kid, but I never like speed ran at NMG or anything. And a couple times you'll see NMG players use like the whirlpools, and you're like, oh man, I forgot that whirlpool even takes you to like outside Lumberjack or whatever spot they go to.
Whirlpool and some goofy bomb jumps every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Yeah, is there anything in the seed that you're just like, oh, dang, that's where the seed wants me to go?
The fire rod, obviously.
Yeah,
the fire rod being in desert, because as soon as I saw that book, I was really going, okay, why are you giving me the book?
Yeah. It's like, no, take it back, please.
Mushrooms always interesting, but
yeah,
don't bother until you have a flute.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think you went and did the North Dark World checks, and you looped in the mushroom and catfish with your Zora. I think that was a pretty good play.
Yes.
It didn't really pan out, but because there was ended up nothing being there. But I did like where you were going with it, just kind of combining them all into one big group of checks.
What do you
It's
mean
always great when you can get everything from Bonk Rocks over to Zora through Catfish and the Dark World, and just do all of it all at once. Just go into Cat,
just one
sweep
swoop
across the board.
Oh, what do you mean, Cup? It paid off. You got Lamp out of the waterfall.
Oh yeah, you did get the lamp out of the waterfall. That's true. Yeah, so it did pay off.
And I didn't have to flipper glitch because I get shot in the face lately when I do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah. Anything else you'd like to say before we head out?
Not really. Just GG's to Squishy Panda.
Nice.
Yeah, good race. It was fun commentating and watching you guys play.
Yep.
Very interesting race.
Yeah, and GG's to you as well. But yeah, if that's all, I think one more shout out is in order. I think. If you want to take this shout out, Cup, go ahead. I did the last one.
Yeah, thanks everyone for watching the Go Mode Podcast 2025 Mentor Tournament. This is week 3 of 6 of the Swiss phase, and there's going to be a brackets phase afterwards. Thanks to the runners for playing today. We got Druu, Bragi, got Squishy Panda and their mentors. We have why am I spacing? With Haiku on the tracker. It's pulling double duty. It's always really hard for a tracker when you're tracking 2 players, so Haiku doing a great job at keeping on top of everything. And then Kyrie, also a racer in this tournament as well, so we'll be seeing you in the next few weeks also. Thanks for commentating.
Of course. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, and thank you for our restreamers, Mr. Angry Pants today, and I think we've got another person restreaming later as well. We've got Furious Prince 97 and Pwa coming later today. So if you want to see more Link to the Past, go ahead. Oh, it's Mr. Angry Pants later too. Okay, so we got Mr. Angry Pants streaming all day. But yeah, Furious Prince 97 and Pwa going to be racing later. It's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, or whatever time zone in between. You can calculate that out too. So yeah, thanks for watching and have a good one.
Bye, buddy.
Bye-bye.